Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, we're going to talk a lot about all those massive recalls that we've had over the past couple of years. And don't take this as me taking this lightly, because a lot of these situations have involved a lot of massive injuries and fatalities. So this is not where I'm going with this deal, but this may be a little bit of a stretch when I talk about it at the end. You talk about Toyota's sudden unintended acceleration, of course, Takata's in the whole situation with the airbag deal, and of course, the folks over at General Motors and their ignition switch deals. But General Motors has had, on the lawsuit side, a couple of wins here recently. And I say wins, that's kind of a farce, because they basically got some of the lawsuits thrown out of court. A couple of them because of folks coming into possession of these vehicles, maybe not in totally legal channels. One of them actually being a fellow who actually crashed his car on an icy bridge on a cold winter's day and blamed it on the ignition switch situation. So every lawsuit that they actually not go fully on with will mean more money in the coffer to pay all the other lawsuits and getting the company healed up as far as them financially moving forward, which does have me thinking about the other company that's been having this situation. Yes, the folks over at Volkswagen. Could they be in the same situation? A lot of these lawsuits actually get thrown out, even though that in those other three situations, they have a lot of lawsuits coming in from customers where Volkswagen doesn't have as much. Some dealerships, also some public entities, but also actually government entities have been suing Volkswagen in quite heavy numbers as lately. So we'll have to wait and see on this deal. Volkswagen's still in the hook for a lot of money, but could there be some situations where some of these lawsuits get actually thrown out of court? And it could save Volkswagen a lot in the long run. I know that story is a little bit of a stretch making that link. Let's move on to happier news. Let's talk about the folks over at Aston Martin who showed off the brand new DB11, the Geneva Motor Show. They made a nice little announcement at the Australian Grand Prix that this vehicle is actually selling quite well. Pre-orders are up around 1,500 units, which is somewhat of a record for the Aston Martin folks, as they're a very small niche organization. So they may really have a winner on their hands with the brand new DB11. I, for one, hope that is the case. Now let's move on to the elephant in the room. Yes, the brand new Model 3 from the folks over at Tesla. I have to say I chickened out a little bit when it came to watching the live press conference of this deal, as it came in a little bit past my bedtime. That being said, that is a little bit on the sad situation. Now, let's get back to the old Model S. Some of the stuff that we teased about in the last go-round of motor cars actually ended up not being true. The 0 to 60 numbers are going to be just under 6 seconds. And that's in early numbers. We haven't heard the real high-end lithium-ion batteries and the high-end electric engines for this all-wheel drive machine. They haven't been talking about ludicrous mode as of yet, so there is some more performance that's going to come out of this machine heading forward, especially not only in this form, but the other forms that are coming down the pike, talking about a crossover and some other variants off of this machine. Now, it is going to stick with $35,000 as being the starting price. It's going to be able to seat 5 full-size adults very comfortably, in their words. And the standard equipment is going to come with the supercharging feature and the autopilot settings on the vehicle, which will be standard on all these vehicles. Elon Musk even put out the word that the $35,000 flat rate car does come in very nicely equipped. You don't have to throw a lot of options on it to make it a very nice place to be. So that's some pretty good news too. Earlier reports too, actually they said it during the press conference, that they've had 115,000 folks that have put in pre-orders for this machine. That being said, when I went to go find out the information to go watch the press conference live, the link I found on Tesla's website actually took me right over to the place where you pre-order the car. So I don't know if they're counting all of those and I don't know if they're going to hound me now that they actually have my email address. I'll put the video up on the Facebook page if you want to check out the press conference. It's not very long, almost a half hour, and a lot of it's just basically some mumbo jumbo of Elon Musk and them talking about why electric cars need to be sold in the world. You can skip forward through a lot of that stuff and just get down to the meat and potatoes. There isn't a whole lot of meat and potatoes to actually enjoy in this machine because a lot of the information isn't exactly well known. The only real solid stuff they had was the 215 miles of EPA tested range on the vehicle, at least in starting mode. So there'll be a whole lot more coming about this. This vehicle is going to be going on sale in 2017. They did make a little bit of laugh at that. Obviously, the Model X took almost 2 extra years to actually get out to the public. But this car needs to come out, and it needs to come out soon because Tesla has never been an organization that has actually made money. Actually, a lot of the operating capital that they use is used on ZEV credits, zero emission vehicle credits, because you have to have a certain amount of ZEV credits to sell automobiles in California, which is exactly what Tesla does. They sell it to a lot of different manufacturers just so they can sell cars in California. So hopefully moving forward, this is a very good seller because it needs to be. This is the first time they sell a car where normal people could actually afford. So it'd be interesting to see just how popular this is and just how many they can sell. I would love to see this company actually become profitable sometime in the future. And then last up on the list, let's talk about this. This is the first ever concept art for the brand new fully autonomous racing series that it's going to be running side by side with the Formula E Championship. It's obviously not going to be running the Formula E races. This is going to be a precursor to some of those races. The autonomous racing thing is always weird to me, and it never makes a whole lot of sense. When you watch a racing series, you've got 2 competitors going head-to-head, both of them wanting to whoop the other one. And that's a situation that I think you may find weird about autonomous racing. Is it going to be a situation where any car just gets a little bit of a run on the other car? Is the other car just going to move out of the way for lack of trying to hit into each other? Are these cars just going to pile up into each other in the first corner? It's going to be really interesting to see because autonomous technology has really been not about all-out performance, not about all-out lap times, but mainly about not hitting stuff inside of their own environment and be able to get you from point A to point B. So this new series could be very interesting. Obviously, the cars look very, very cool. So I'd love to see this series do well, and it is going to push along the technology of autonomous technology heading forward because nothing moves that needle of tech like motorsport does. So we'll wait and see and hold judgment of that first race that will happen in 2017. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, don't forget to like us over there. The link's down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.